Kyren dropped some footage on his Instagram that show how explosive he is. And the crazy part about it is the industry's trying to tell you, and I'm not talking about like one person, I'm saying on a grand scale, the industry has been regurgitating a message to everyone that says something along the lines of, he's not explosive. He lacks explosives. Again, this is not to one individual person. This is the entire industry trying to tell you that this man lacks explosiveness. The data last year doesn't look good for him, that he's capped in his receiving abilities in the receiving game. On my Instagram, you can go watch Kyren Williams looking like a top 5 explosive running back in the National Football League. Don't take my word for it. Go look at my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. You can go check it out right now. Make sure you're following me over there. But this is one of those things where we just bask in the glory of the ADP. We take advantage of the fact that he's going in the middle of the 3rd round in his best case scenario, which is amazing for us. But he drops to 4.1. He goes to 3.4. He goes to 3.5. Grandma leagues, he sometimes goes a little bit higher. He might go in a, 2.13, in a 14-team league, a 2.10 in a 12-man league. Sometimes he might go higher because the people don't know better and they don't realize the whole world's doubting him, and they just keep drafting a guy that they had ranked higher. That's like when John has his mullet and it goes out of style, but he doesn't cut it, and then it comes back in style and he's still wearing it. That's what your grandma league, that's what Aunt Edna's league is doing to Kyren. And it drives you crazy because you're like, you're right, Aunt Edna. Kyren's worth the 13 overall pick, but why are you taking him there? Don't you know the whole world, except for the Fantasy Football Show, is crapping on Kyren Williams, who I have in the graphic, might I remind you, if you haven't noticed, 15 touchdowns. That's rushing. Kyren Williams will, and this is not even a crazy number, this guy gets over 12 every year. Kyren Williams will rush for 15 touchdowns in 2025. Kyren Williams is one of the most explosive running backs in the league. And if you think your explosive data from 2024, when he was facing 8-man fronts and stacked boxes constantly, is the reason you're determining that Kyren's not an explosive player, you're repeating what you hear on the other show. According to my report in my data, my Excel sheet, I'm Eric, by the way, I'm Excel sheet Eric. According to my data and spreadsheet, Kyren Williams, I'm shaking because I'm real nervous because this might go badly for me. Kyren Williams is one of the least explosive players in the league.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
People don't know what in the hell they're talking about. They just don't know, and that's great for us. That's amazing for us because Kyren Williams, ladies and gentlemen, this is... Actually, I got to pull up... This data is from the year prior. I got to pull up the other data. I had it on a page somewhere, but I don't even know where it is. I'm still working on it. But Kyren Williams bringing this, let's put it back on screen because this is, I guess, what I was going to reference anyway. This 5.0 yards per carry in 2023. This is his 2023 data. So he walks into the 2024 season with all this information on screen. 11:44, 12 rushing touchdowns, 12 played games. He only played 12 games. And he had 12 rushing touchdowns. Top 5 running back 6 times. This is in 2023. 5 yards per carry. Pretty explosive to me. And I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty damn close. Probably the best deep fake scientist you've ever come across in your life. And I can tell you right now, using all of my scientific knowledge that I've amassed over the years without actually going to school for science, I've got my eyeballs on this kid. And this right here is a glorious, explosive monster that can get 5.3, 5.4 yards per carry, which you have to be explosive in order to do. Not to mention, I don't care about your Excel sheet. I could give two craps about your Excel sheet. It doesn't taste very good. I was going to try and commit to that one, but that would have taken about 3 minutes for me to actually get down. I would have done it, but it would have been too much dead air for about 2 to 3 minutes. I could care less about your Excel sheet. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care about 2024. I trust my eyeballs. I trust the fact that when I see Kyren Williams play, when I see things like this, it makes me say to myself, am I in bizarro land? Am I the only one watching this monster, this guy doing all this reception work too? And the fact that you're going to have Devontae Adams stretching out the defense. You have Puka Nacua going to be able to stretch the defense out too because Adams is there. Because Adams is there. Adams and Puka together is going to be dangerous and league leading in many categories, and it's going to be field stretching. So guess what? Kyren's going to have an open lane. Not just rushing, but when he catches the football, he'll have this much more room to navigate instead of this much. When he's running up the A-gap that's completely cemented shut, it's now wide open. When he's running up any gap, this guy's going to be ripping off another yard per carry. So when he averages right around 4.2, 4.3 last year, I forget if it was 4.2 or 4.3, you're judging the man off of no Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp falling off and defenses going, beat us with Kyren. And they still ran the hell out of the ball, and Kyren still was successful. Hitting brick walls, Kyren still delivered. It's wild to me the way people react to this situation. It is head-scratching to me that people don't see through all of this noise. And that they believe what they hear when someone says Kyren Williams isn't an explosive player. He's just not very explosive. I keep hearing that from many people. Smitty, I heard on another show platform that he's not explosive. I keep hearing that. I don't even know why people repeat what they're hearing on this. 316, 1299, still 14 touchdowns against stacked boxes and brick walls. Imagine what he's going to do this year with Adams and Puka Nacua. This is going to be better than Kupp and Puka were. Because Kupp was already wavering. This will be Adams and Puka at their best, in their prime, stretching defenses. 4.1 last year off of the 5.0 the year prior. The 14 touchdowns on the ground rushing last year in a very, just absolute lockdown, 8-man front defensive situation over and over and over. 14 TDs on the ground, tied for 5th in the National Football League, tied for 7th in yardage, tied for 3rd in carries. This man's 150 plus is what he's ranking for yards per carry, is going back into the promised land. 5.1, 5.0, 5.3, 5 point something. And then we're going to have people say looks pretty explosive, actually. The data in 2025 was explosive. Kyren was explosive. And then we've got the next thing that is going to trigger an uptick in his ADP. His ADP will soon be on the climb, and that is when he gets his contract extension. Once they pay this man his bag, once he secures that, okay, this is the starter. It's going to happen. They're not going to turn to anybody else. That's when the ADP climbs. But how much does it? Because there are still a lot of people that have shoveled so much shiat on top of this problem that they think is Kyren Williams. I don't know that everybody's just going to take their pile of crap off and say, I'm changing and adjusting and adapting. Because we're the only community that adjusts and adapts like no other. Everybody else, they just pile it on while Kyren's out there looking like an absolute savage, working on his burst, working on his hands. Doesn't drop a single football, by the way. He's got some of the better hands in the league. It just so happens that they need him so much between the tackles, and they've had Cooper Kupp and Puka that they haven't been able to utilize his skill set to the fullest extent. But dare I say that this is a 45 catch player this year, which is not Bijan, it's not Achane, it's not 70 balls, but 45, even 50 balls. 52 catches would not surprise me. Let's put it out there. 52 catches. Let me give a Kyren Williams prediction. 15 rushing touchdowns. That's TDs on the ground, by the way. 2 receiving. That's going to give you a, let me raise this up because you can't see that. So 15 rushing TDs on the ground, 2 TDs receiving, 52 receptions for 425 yards, and we're going to give him, let's call it 310 carries. He's going to be more efficient, times 5.1 yards per carry is 1581, which will probably put him in the top 3 or 4 in rushing yards, if not number 1. It just depends on if Bijan drops 1,600. It just depends on how many running backs we're going to have over 15. This could be a year where we have more than normal. This is a year that I believe we have a 15-15 season for Kyren. I believe this guy drops just even if this is, let's call this 1,500 and even, and let's call this 400 even. We're going to have a player that is at 1,900 yards. A 1,900-yard player in Kyren Williams on a slow day at the office, because the gaps and lanes will be wide open. He'll be untouched on several touchdowns this year in a row. Walk straight in. It'll look like Priest Holmes. Walk straight into the end zone. One of the best offensive lines in the league. One of the heaviest, if not the heaviest, line in the league. Banged up last year. Banged up last year at the beginning. Banged up for a big portion of the season. Cooper Kupp, not himself and injured. Puka Nacua, not himself and injured. 8-man fronts. Offensive line injured. This is a team that can go very far. This is a division-winning team. This is a team that I predict to win the West. And let me pull this up. That's going to be, we're going to go over and draft in a minute. That's an old draft. This is a team that, let me see if I can find the West. Where's my West? Where's my West? This is a team that can win the NFC West. I have them winning the NFC West. 12-5. Cardinals 10-7. Niners 9-8. Oh, cry me a river. And 9-8 to the Seahawks, who are going to go through a quarterback change at some point when Milroe goes in and proves to be the midseason monster that we predict Milroe to be. Not to sidestep over to Milroe, but give Milroe his credit, because he will be eventually the starter over in Seattle. I have no doubt about that at all. Kyren Williams is going to be the key to the West, and this team is going to be so good, the Rams. So good and efficient and dangerous. And then the offensive line is going to be a big part of that, something we didn't get to fully see last year. I can't wait to see what's in store for Kyren Williams. We have some super chats, and then we'll go to the phone lines, and then we may draft in a minute and see where we get Kyren Williams. Genty in London or Neighbors in Bucky? This is a question that I believe I've seen like 5 different ways, and it's still always going to be very, very tough. At the end of the day, we do it like a little something like this. And I think this works just only so well. But when you think about Genty being, I don't know, we'll call him number 7 to 8 overall. Let's give him the 7. And then we say Neighbors is probably, London. Genty in London. London's probably, you could call him like the 13 or 14 overall player. And I rank him higher, so let's just put him 13. So we got a sum total of 20, the lowest scorer, just in a spitball fashion, is kind of proving where you rank these guys. So Genty in London. Neighbors is kind of, and I'm not even going to try and make this, make a lot of sense in terms of if I put him at 7, I have to put him at 8. I think Neighbors is 7 as well. They're kind of tied for me at that spot anyway. I tend to lean Genty a little bit more, so if we put 7 there, and then we say Bucky is in ADP terms, he's he's obviously a lot further downstream, but Bucky to me is worthy of that 12 spot, that 13 spot. He truly is. So if you give Bucky even this like 12, 13, it's essentially it's a complete tie. It's the reason I'm doing this is to show you that draft ADP or value, even not ADP, but value. Now, I will say that Bucky's ADP is a lot lower than the values I gave and assigned to these players. So at the end of the day, I think the market's going to say that the Neighbors and Bucky's not as good as the Genty London. Both Genty and London live above 14 overall. Bucky doesn't, but I think Bucky's undervalued. At the end of the day, I'm going to say this one's tough. I think the last one you gave me didn't have Neighbors, or somebody asked this question. It didn't have Neighbors that had another player in it. Neighbors is on a team that he's situation proof, but at the same time, there's hiccups that could be there as that QB situation changes, or the hospital balls, or the toe. And so it makes you want to kind of lean safety toward the Genty London side. But at the same time, I love Bucky so much. I think this is the safer call. The ADPs and the value, the market value says that this deserves more weight. So on this end here, because Bucky's ADP is a lot lower, I think you ask for a little bit more and then take the Bucky side if you want Bucky. I don't mind, but I think you do have the ability to command just a touch more. Appreciate you. There's no wrong answer to that question, though. Absolutely no wrong answer. Hit that like button for Smitty. Says healing, and thanks again for that super chat. Scotty Do says, do it live. Got Hunter for Connor straight up. That's amazing, Scotty. Remember yesterday, Scotty said, how do you get rid of Connor? What can you go get? We gave him a list of names. We said, go try, do what you can. He went and got, and this is redraft, he went and got Hunter straight up for Connor. Love that trade. Some might say they like Connor more. That's okay. They can feel however they want to feel. Taking a gamble with the team, JD5, Genty, Hendy, JSN, Debo, Cup, Bowers, and I believe that's Charbonnet that you're trying to write there. Chardonnay. Yes, I think I don't hate that team at all. Do I love Cup? Cup seems to be pretty heavy in this. Like, you either drafted a bunch of other running backs or something. Like, you couldn't possibly drafted Cup at this exact value, right? Or you took him a little early. There's a better player than Cup, I think, there for you there, Ray. But I like that team. I think there's nothing wrong with it. First pick in Superflex. Is it crazy to take Bijan or Chase over a QB? Yes, it is. If you're talking about taking them over the big five, you always go watch my Cam Ward video. You always draft Mahomes on up over a running back, wide receiver, tight end. Not because you're drafting a position, but because you can say with a certainty that that's the best player available. Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts, Lamar, Josh Allen, JD5. Those are all the best player available whenever they're on the board in a Superflex draft. You do not skip drafting a quarterback. You just can't. It's not smart business. If you do take, let's say, Bijan, you better get Bo Nix. And if you're drafting under the Mahomes draft slot, then yeah, take Bijan and Bo Nix and do it live. I love Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix could outscore Hurts. So in a way, I sometimes love getting the 11 or 12. But you got to take, because I believe Hurts has that guaranteed rushing production, it is a smart bet to take him up top. And if you want Nix anyway, grab Nix as well. Okay, don't necessarily pass on Hurts because you like Nix and quietly, like me, think Nix can outscore Hurts or be as good. He was last year in 6 points per TD. He was number 7 and Hurts was 9. Bo Nix outscored Hurts last year already in 6 point per TD league. So I don't want to hear that that's crazy. But if you're going to take Bo Nix in 2 where he belongs ADP-wise, that has nothing to do with that draft selection where you're getting that quarterback that is hands down the best pick at that value no matter what way you spin it. Go watch my Cam Ward video, Gibbs Bijan Moon. You'll love that video because it tells you exactly what I'm talking about here in a lot more detail, especially when I put it on the board. But essentially, bro, you got to go quarterback, then go back to one QB thinking for several rounds and then grab Cam Ward. It's a league-winning strategy. a straight up league winner. Badge Bros Brawl Draft on Underdog tonight. Probably not. Those are fun, but we get less people in them, so I'm going to go ahead and say we're probably not doing that tonight. But we'll jump into those. They're also such loaded teams. Kind of fun to do, I think, on your own, but for the purposes of the show, can get less people in it. So we'll probably jump into a different draft. Hit me with your questions. Dial into the phone line. The phone lines are open. Let's roll.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Look how good Kyren looks in this video. And it doesn't do it justice. Go, especially with the music I put to it, Spiders, System of a Down. Go watch this on my Instagram. And if you don't think Kyren Williams looks like a top 5 wide receiver, watching him run and cut, and you could say, oh, he's in short, so cool, awesome, then you don't know how to evaluate a player based on movements, quickness, hands, agility, footwork, aggressiveness, and mix that with what you've already seen from the player. And mix that with the fact that he's had 12 rushing touchdowns and 14 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. I don't know what more someone needs to see when it comes to Kyren Williams than a 14 touchdown rushing season mixed with a 12. And he's about to get his contract extension. And when Kyren gets that I don't think I have the phone lines open. I'm sorry, guys. Phone lines are open now. I just opened them. They should be good to go now. I'm sorry about that. They just opened. Okay, call in. You mix his 14 TDs in 2024 with his 2023 12 TDs, and you factor in the fact that he only played 12 games this year. What would he have done in that season had he played more than 12 games? 16 TDs on the ground, because he had a better year. He averaged 5 yards per carry. So if someone says, oh, he had a better year because he had 14, he didn't. He had 4.1 yards per carry versus 5.0. He'll average 5.0 again in 2025. He'll give you probably, I would say, it's going to be 16, 17 games. Missing a game for whatever these days is not crazy. He's going to play 16 games. And the way he scores, he's getting you 15 to 16 TDs. He's getting you essentially a touchdown per game is what Kyren is the way he's played. That's all he knows. That's all he's done. That's all he's ever done is provide 12 touchdowns rushing on 12 games and score 14 touchdowns this season, but also scoring receiving touchdowns too. Kyren Williams, it's not like he doesn't pull in passes. Here's Kyren Williams' complete game log so you can see the receiving numbers as well, which again, I think are going to be quite unusually high comparative to the expectation of this player everybody says is a non-explosive, just warm body in the lineup. He's just sitting, he's just available. You know, last year is Blake Corum, and we said and continue to say that Jarquez Hunter is a monster. He is a monster, but Kyren's a bigger monster. Kyren's the boogeyman. So if anybody's going to be scared of one of the other players, it's everybody's scared of Kyren. You know, Jarquez Hunter might have taken Blake Corum's mom out past midnight and didn't bring her home till 2 or 3 a.m. But Kyren then picked them, both of their moms, up at 2:30 and kept them out past 6 a.m. and took them to Denny's together. That's what Kyren's going to do. Kyren does it. You don't take Kyren's job. Kyren takes your job. And once he gets his bag, he's locked in. And while Jarquez Hunter is one of the best handcuffs in fantasy, keep in mind when people say he's going to lose his job to Jarquez, you're the same bozo that said that he was going to lose his job to Blake Corum. You're the same person that said, oh, he's going to return punts. And then a week later, they announced that Blake Corum's returning kicks. and you're, oh, never mind. Okay, well, I mean, it's just Blake Corum's such a good player. Like, why would they draft him? Because they need a backup. But yeah, why would they draft Blake Corum when if they believed in Kyren? Because everyone has a backup. Everyone has a backup running back. And if they pay him the bag, he's not going to the bench. He's not dividing his carries up. And McVay is a one running back guy. And if they give him a little less work, that's fine, because if they run 450 times, we're only seeing 310, 316, 320 anyway. So there's enough room for at least 120 to even 100, in some cases 150 extra carries to go around to Jarquez Hunter or Blake Corum or both. So if you give 120 carries to Jarquez Hunter, and he's going to do well with those carries, he's going to be great. We're going to love him. He's going to be a waiver wire gem, and we're going to say grab him ahead of time. You own Kyren and you don't own Jarquez Hunter. Shame on you. Your mom's embarrassed of you. Absolutely embarrassed of you. You don't own Kyren without Jarquez Hunter. You just don't do it. That's how good Jarquez Hunter is. That's how good he can be. But it doesn't mean when this man's healthy that you're taking the job from Papa Bear in this lineup. Jarquez Hunter will serve Kyren. He will serve him a nice warm cup of coffee. But if the time comes, this man, Jarquez Hunter, will have learned a thing or two from his teacher, Kyren Williams, and Jarquez Hunter will eat. That's the nature of a McVay system as well. It's you're drafting, in a sense, the combo of whoever's running there. Like, you take Kyren, I'm not an idiot. You take Kyren off of this team, is he a little less effective? Yes. Doesn't matter. I don't care about those hypotheticals. You can't separate the situation from player. You can't take me back in time in the DeLorean and have LT get drafted to a different team. Take Priest Holmes off of the Kansas City Chiefs. Make it so that Kurt Warner never went into the game. You can't do any of that. You can't say, well, without the Rams and Vermeil, Kurt Warner isn't the same. No shit. We know that. That's football. That's life. You can't separate situation from player, baby. And this guy lives in McVay's system. And McVay is going to make monsters like he always does, whether it's Jarquez Hunter or Kyren. The only difference is Kyren can turn a little into a lot. He can turn what could be a 4.5-yard carry into a 5-yard carry. And he's going to prove that. And people that doubt this man, go look at my Instagram. For anybody that wants to go check it out for themselves, anybody that doubts this man, you are literally embarrassing yourself. And if you say he's not explosive, you're embarrassing yourself and your mother, who's working hard on the meatloaf right now, slaving over you, putting batteries in your Game Boy, and here you are doubting what I'm telling you. Your mom knows what's good for you. Listen to her. And we got another super chat from Rockout who says Kyren is so slow that he's fast. That's probably the best way to explain it to somebody that's been listening to other, information on this. That's just wildly weird. It doesn't make any sense. Guy averaged 5 yards per carry the year prior. now because he faced 8-man fronts all year, he's what, not explosive? Well, no crap. And then this one from Mr. Zib says, PPR Superflex startup, what round would you be happy drafting Ibuka? It really depends on the flow. To give you a round would be kind of reckless. I would say in general, if he's going in round number, if I look at underdog ADP, let me just pull up a random draft and see where he's going. Problem is, it's probably going to be me that took him. So, it's going to be me, the one that's maybe reaching a little bit on him. I would say, so he's going around 7, 8, probably more preferably 8 if you're not drafting in our community. So just kick it back another round. 9 or 10 is probably where you're going to get him. But it really depends on the flow. Also, though, thoughts on Judkins. Who's that? Who's Judkins? Is that a guy that doesn't even play in the league yet because his team won't sign him? Whether innocent or guilty, I'm not here to say that. But Judkins, he's already been told by his team, go take care of it. It's not going to happen overnight. And they've said we're not signing him anytime soon. And we know the commissioner, because of Isaiah Bond, in the same exact situation. And dare I say Isaiah Bond's is a more defensive situation. Like, Bond came out right away and said, I'm fighting this. It's completely fabricated. I need the teams to understand this is not me. This is made up. This is fabricated. Trust me. Let me come talk to you. Read my letter. Let me come speak to you. Let me tell you about it. And not one team drafted him, and not one team has signed him. He's still unsigned. So Judkins is in a probably worse situation. There's allegedly photos. They could be doctored. They could not be doctored. We don't know. No one knows. You can't make assumptions about this case just because the person's being, coached into doing this in bad timely manner, like bringing this up 5 days after the vacation ended. So she got allegedly struck and then reported it 3, 4, 5 days later. That you don't know what's going on. And you can't tell me a story based on those facts. You don't have facts. No one does. And the league doesn't. And the league is, they dig into it more than any of us. They dig into it more than the police. And so they're going to have their stance, and their stance is going to be tread lightly. So I don't draft Judkins at all. We draft Sampson, not to mention Sampson's better than Judkins anyway. I've said it since January. We're a Dylan Sampson country, and Dylan Sampson's been a midseason monster probably longer than anyone on this list. But maybe Garendo and Mason, they're probably all about the same. And Sampson is the guy to own. I just think that I'd rather take, here's the problem, Zib. If you're drafting 5 or 6 running backs, most people don't draft 8, If you're drafting 5 or 6 running backs, even 7, I want someone else than Judkins. I don't want him. I want Brashard Smith. I want Jaden Blue. I want Garendo. I want those guys, Dylan Sampson. So I run out of spots. Is there a world where I draft Judkins? Sure. But in most scenarios, especially Underdog, we'll be drafting on Underdog. That link is pinned in the live chat. Draft on Underdog with us. We'll be drafting soon. Click that link. I'll drop the link in the live chat right now. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. Minimum's only $10. So click that link right there. We'll be drafting here in a bit. And on Underdog, there's no room for Judkins. You're wasting a spot. You could have somebody scoring like Dylan Sampson every week, or someone like Jaden Blue, who's going in the 200s. I mean, there's no way I'm taking Judkins at all. Good questions, though. I'm not yelling at you, Zib. I appreciate your super chat, by the way. Zib to the moon. All right, let me hit these phone calls here. We've got the 808 caller and then the Bruce. So let's go to 808. 808, you're live. He does that. He does. You want me to hit it? Want me to play it? Here it is. Here it is.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
What can I do for you, pal? What's your name and where you calling from? Oh, Scotty Do. Scotty Do, what's up, my boy? I got to memorize at least the Hawaii area code, 808. Okay, what can I do for you, Scotty? Yeah, attaboy. It's awesome, bro. Someone said they can't hear your call, so let me go ahead and switch this mic over. So as for Chubb, I would say this. I would say I don't think Chubb is. It's going to be one of those scenarios where I like Chubb in scenarios where you can house many running backs. But again, in most scenarios, this goes for best ball, especially best ball. It goes for leagues where you don't have 20 bench spots. You only have 15 rounds, and like, how are you going to house a guy like Chubb when you're sitting there, as I said, looking at Jaden Blue, looking at Garendo, looking at Ray Davis, looking at Jordan Mason, looking at even Brashard Smith. You get so deep into a draft, those guys are better than Chubb. If you had Mixon, I could see it. Cuff him, maybe. But even then, I'm finding myself wanting that standalone player instead. There's no room for Nick Chubbs on rosters unless we're talking about a dynasty roster where you're trying to cuff it and it just fits. You're not even worried about the long-term value, but you have spots for days, bro. And in regular redraft, especially best ball, you don't have extra spots for days. So it becomes a really tough sell for me. I'm going to say I'm out. I don't care what he looks like in the gym, bro. You saw him on the field. He looked like a slow walrus when he was cutting on the field. There was video footage of him. in pads cutting, or it wasn't in pads, but he was cutting. It looked like he was in pads. I forget. But in the gym, jumping up and down doesn't matter. It looks great. Eckler's the best in the gym of all, and he's not going to be a top 5 to 10 running back this year, but he can do one-arm pull-ups, bro. He can rip off like 10 of them. There's no one more fit in the gym than Eckler. So it doesn't matter. Stay away from him. Go get some monster sleeping giant like Jaden Blue.
There's Rashard Smith. That swap one of those guys out there.
I would take Smith over Chubb in a millisecond. All right, Scotty. Go get Jaden Blue in a trade. That's your next assignment.
Okay.
All right, later, bro.
Right.
Bruce, you're live, my boy. You are live. What's up?
What's up
What's going on?
with Kyren? If he thought when he signs his contract, does that put him in the area in an A-chan as in value-wise?
Look, the thing you got to understand, though, the perception of his value be? Because for me, he deserves to be, honestly, Kyren deserves to be a 12, 13, 14 overall player. That's where I believe Kyren should be. But that's not where he's going. He's going in the 3rd round, 3.5. He deserves this. This bakes in a little risk. It bakes in everything, but he's not going anywhere near this. The question will be, will the community, the fantasy football community as a whole, lift his ADP up from what is right around, let me go find it real quickly and just get a most up-to-date ADP on Kyren Williams, because it changes pretty quickly, especially with all the players rising up and down. So 35 overall. So this guy is at the 3-4 turn, which is insane. So you could technically call him a 4.1. That is crazy. That is insane. That is just laughable. Does a new contract make the scared Scotties feel so good that they rush into the game? And do the people that are creating this garbage, Kyren's not explosive, content out there? And again, I'm not pinning out or calling out any one individual person. I'm just saying, as a whole, it's what it is. That's why his ADP is 4.1. As a whole, everyone hates him. As a whole, he is doubted by way more people than believe in him, or he wouldn't hold a 4.1 ADP. So this is not isolated to any one person, but do I believe the people that create videos against him, anti-Kyren videos, do I think they're all going to change their tune based on the contract? No, but I think it's a good backstep. It's a good way out. It's a good way to undo some of the nonsense. If you're sitting there going, maybe I'm wrong on this, I don't know, I'm just kind of doubling down. Like in my heart, I know I should be turning and going the other way. This might give you a talking point to say, well, that makes me I still don't like his explosive data from last year, but this makes me more excited about where he could go. So I'm kind of back in on Kyren at cost. As long as he climbs to you either like a player or you don't. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts when someone says, yeah, I don't like him, 4.1. But then they say that, but it's not like they're saying that we need more risk baked in. They're literally telling you, I don't like him. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. I don't think he'll be good. There's no world where, and then it's like, okay, now his ADP climbs and what? He becomes a number to them. Oh, I need a certain percentage or this. Draft a player you love or don't. If you believe Kyren's a monster, then draft him. If you don't come swinging in and try and be on the Kyren train, or, oh, I'm going to draft Kyren at 3.4 now because it's a better ADP. That can make sense if you like the player. But everybody seems to not like the player. And so, do I think there's enough people that will flip this thing into the top of round 3? I don't even know he can climb that high. I would say 4.1 to 3.4 is probably and I could be wrong on this. I could misjudge how fickle everybody is. But 3.4 seems like the highest that I would see Kyren's ADP climbing off of a new contract if he gets the money. If he gets the money, I could see this being his high. I could see it, I guess, going to 3.1 at an absolute highest, like a turn player. Because that turn player pick is so easy to be like, that's easy to toss around. It's an easy thing to throw around, like a ragdoll.
Because I had Kyren the past 2 years, so I'd love
Yeah. I mean, you should.
to make it to the point where it was. Okay, now
All right. Hey,
contact. He's going to go with them two, and I'm like, oh man, no, I'm really going to have the choice.
yeah. All right. Hang tight here, my boy. Let me get over to the other callers real quickly. Scott, is this Cody? Cody, you're live. I'll be right back, Bruce. What do you hear? What do you say, Cody? Yeah.
I drafted my dynasty league. Is there
RB1 overall? And RB1. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
awesome?
Yeah. I know a lot about him, but real quickly on the Hampton thing, I would say Hampton, if Najee, if the Pirate, the Pirate patch doesn't affect him that much. Yeah, I think, and they give him goal line work, and this doesn't seem to be an issue. I think Hampton probably starts off around the 8 to 14 range. And what I mean by that is we will, even before he takes over, we will see, running back 8, running back 7 games out of him. He'll just be efficient. He'll look really good. And then we'll have some 14 games out of him. So he'll be in between there. But once the takeover happens, and I'm not saying Najee can't be involved anymore, but he definitely becomes the 2. I think we start getting, occasional, top 4 games, but the range goes, it kind of, shifts from 8 to 14, and then that 8 stands there and it swings over 4 to 8. So you're getting a potential running back 8 some weeks. You're getting a potential running back 4 some weeks. And I think what will happen is we'll extrapolate data and have an extrapolation party at the end of the year where we're like, if Hampton played those 11 games across a 17-game season, he would have been running back 7 overall. So like that's what we're going to be probably dealing with. But every day that it feels the way it feels right now that goes by, maybe he's inching more and more toward having the job in week 1, or even if it's a 50-50 split, it doesn't really go that way. It's definitely a lean toward Hampton. But remember, we got to keep ourselves in check that this is Harbaugh, and Harbaugh's a rah. There's no one guy better than the group type of guy. So we got to be kind of careful. Look what he's doing to Herbert, man. And I'm not saying Herbert can't still excel somehow, but Herbert's got one hand handcuffed behind his back to his leg. He's a 5,000-yard passer just in a cage. Herbert's just caged. He's a caged man. He can't break out and unleash the beast, But I do think this team's going to run so much that Hampton will be just fine. He'll be a top 10 running back no matter what. All right, guys, jump into an eliminator. Actually, don't jump into it yet. Let me. This one just filled. As soon as I hit it, it filled, and I didn't even know it. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Call back if you got another one. So we'll get into another eliminator after this one. So let me show this one in motion, and then we'll jump in one together. So don't click it yet. Let's see here. Active draft. I didn't think this one was going to start. Let's see here. Eliminator. Jeez. Do I go neighbors here? Or do I go HN? I'm going to go HN here. Where's my... Let's see if I can find it, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Eliminator. Bruce, you there? I think Bruce hung up. All right, let me switch over. Eliminator, Bucky. I took Bucky right now. I can't seem to find... I hate this. It's like cached, and I can't seem to find the draft. I think we're in an eliminator. All right, Bruce, you're live. What's up, my boy? Go ahead and ask your question while you're trying to find this damn draft. Let me see if I can find the...
No. I was just asking if it was what you said with his ADP going to go up to Bucky and H. He said no.
Hold on a second. I think this is
He signed it.
okay. Here it is. Yes, here it is. Yeah. Okay. So the question you have is, will we see an increase in value so much that? All right, here it is. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the wait on that one. If anybody wants to jump into the eliminator after this, I'll do one with you guys. This is one I'm going to do without you. We're going to jump into it together. And to do so, you want to go in and use code Smitty. Hit this. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of a video, any video, this video, any video. If you need it later and you say, oh, what was that code? You just use code Smitty. But if you forget, the link's in any video in the description. We'll jump into another one after this, but click the link now. I'm going to drop the link one more time. Sign up. It's pinned again. Sign up. It's a $10 minimum. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000, and we'll be able to draft together. So click right now. To answer your question, sorry I've been so long-winded on it. I don't think anybody goes higher than 3.1.
Okay.
I don't even think it climbs that high. I think he gets into the third round though. 4.1 is 3.12 to 4.1 is insane. I mean, that means that I'm getting Kyren. If there's no snipers in here, I'm getting Kyren at 35 up here. I'm getting Kyren Williams at 35. Which is going to be a problem because I have no wide receivers yet. McCaffrey, 5. It's crazy. All right, let me see if I have anybody else on the phone line. I think they all hung up when I was trying to scramble to get this draft pulled up. All right, what can I do for you, Bruce? What else you got? Phone lines are open, guys.
Would it be a good idea to go, because I have a redraft coming up, and if I can do it, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if I can, to go A10 Bucky, Kyren?
Oh, Wabi took Kyren. I it's funny because we do a draft. We usually have at least one or two people in any draft we jump in anyway, no matter what. So as we're getting bigger. So he took Kyren. Good selection. Say that question one more time, Bruce. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying I'm going to make this, like, I want to do it, but I'm not saying I'm going to do it. But if I get the chance, would you go A10 Bucky and then Kyren?
Yes.
And then
if I would have done it here, I would have H&M Bucky Kyren. He didn't fall because Wabi took him.
Okay.
Absolutely. JSN, I probably would have taken here. You know, Rashee Rice is tempting here. I think I might take him here. And, you know, this is a guy that was going in the second round. This gives me Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rashee Rice. Now, this is an eliminator, so this is a little bit risky, but I have faith that I'm going to be fine on this. I don't care. There's also the chance that there's a chance that he doesn't get suspended, and then you have such a huge advantage. I think he probably gets 2 to 4 games, but everybody's jumping the gun and assuming that it's cemented in concrete. Now, eliminator, this is a very risky play, but someone's got to draft him. He's going to go somewhere, and being that he was a 20 to 21 to 22 overall player before the assumption that he's going to get a 2 to 4 game suspension, you got to take a gamble somewhere. And I believe I'm going to have like an Ibuka or a Debo or somebody that will be plenty fine for the 2 to 3. Even if it's a worst case scenario 4 game suspension, the player that goes in for me is probably going to get 8 to 9 points bare minimum. And let's say he would have gotten 15, you know, and I got 8, 10, 9, 10 instead of having, you know, 15, 12, 16, 14. I'm going to be okay. All I got to do is win, first of all, week 1, which I believe I have some tactics that will allow me to win week 1 and get out of the 6 getting knocked out of the 6 moving forward. And then I'm 1 week through it. And then it's 1v1. Then it's 1v1. And then you move on from there. And if I've got Rashee Rice, you know, suspension out of the way, and I'm still in the eliminator, that's huge. So it's a risky move, no doubt about it. Sam says drafting Kyren in the 3rd round is like finding out your Uber driver is Vin Diesel. Or it's like getting an Uber and finding out that, you know, it's completely free. You're getting out, it's already paid for. Vin Diesel paid for your Uber drive. Kyren's paid for in round 4. Round 3, he's completely free. That seems free to me. It seems absolutely free to me. And Vin Diesel, by the way, Vin Diesel's catching some heat because he looks like he's been putting on some pounds and he's getting ready for that final Fast and the Furious filming. But he had to gain that weight for a role that he's doing. So everybody's being kind of cruel to him, but he gained that on purpose. Dynasty, Judkins or Tootin in 2026 second. Well, I mean, J-Man, you probably just heard me rip apart Judkins. I don't really want anything to do with him. I think Tootin in the 26 seconds better. And while I could live to regret that, bro, you're talking about, let me pull the players that are available over here. You're talking about, you know, a lot of things got to happen positively, man, for this to, he's got to then take back the job from Ford and Dylan Sampson. He's got to then, well, he's got to serve a 6 to 8 game suspension before that. It's just not looking good. You know, I don't think that draft capital ahead of Dylan Sampson is going to mean crap in 2026. It means something now, or it did. Give me Tootin all day, bro. Like in a dynasty rookie only draft, if this puts it in perspective for you, I'm drafting Tootin over Judkins by a country mile. So why wouldn't I make the trade if you're throwing in a second rounder, bro? You know what I'm saying? And then this one here from Healing, appreciate you. Rank Amon-Ra, BT, London, and Best Ball Mania. London, BT, Amon-Ra in that order. So reverse of that. I look at the situation in Detroit and it worries me, regression, and then Goff without Ben Johnson. And the offensive line, you know, 2/5 of it is is raptured from the team. So you're missing 2/5 of what, you know, was successful last year. And then BTJ, I just, you know, he's young. I love the guy. London is top 5 to me. Top 5 to me. I'm going to go Harvey here because I believe this guy, he's probably going to take a wide receiver, but I know he's going to take an RB, and Harvey was the highest ranked. So I have a feeling that I could probably get away with, I'm not going to say it because he's going to take him if I say it, if he's watching. But, okay. So I felt like I could get away with Hunter a little easier than if I went Hunter and expected Harvey there, because Hunter was about 5 spots down, 4 or 5 spots down. Harvey was at the top. I like Trey, though. I would have been fine with Trey. So right now I've got 3 wide receivers, MHJ, Rashee Rice, and Travis Hunter, meaning my very next wide receiver is going to determine whether the Rashee Rice move is low risk or high risk. And even if I don't get the receiver I want necessarily, doesn't mean it's not going to still work out. It just means it's a little higher risk. But if I land and smash that wide receiver, my wide receiver 4, that Rice move is going to pay dividends. And my running backs, Achane, Bucky, and Harvey. Now, this is an eliminator. And the way the eliminator goes, again, just to recap, it's the first week, the bottom 6 are done. They get booted out of the entire contest. I forget who was on the line there. Hold on 1 second. Dial into the phone line again. I had to close it. It was acting up there. So whoever was on the phone line, dial in again. I'm sorry about the wait on that, or the hang up. Dial in and I'll answer it. Let me see if I can switch it back over. There we go. Okay. Dial in, should be relaunched. What was I even saying? I don't know. London, BTJ, Amon-Ra. Hey, what was I saying? Somebody remind me about what I was saying. I was saying something. BTJ is going to feast. Yeah, he will. So is Hunter. Let me move this over so you guys can see what has transpired in this draft. So the 1 pick has Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, DK, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Ricky. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I just don't like the team. Those aren't players I would have drafted from that slot. Bijan, Drake London, Lamar, Kamara, Caleb. I was explaining the league format. So in week 1, The bottom 6 get booted. The top 6 in this eliminator contest you're watching right now, the top 6 move on. So immediately after week 1, half of the entire field is gone. So week 1, 6 move on from every league, 6 get eliminated. So immediately you're down to half going into week 2. So you have half of the entire field. But the same thing happens in week number 3, because half will be eliminated that week too, because everybody's going to be 1 versus 1. Every one person's matched up with another person. The loser goes home, the winner moves on. So every week, half of the people get eliminated, all the way down week 4, week 5, all the way down. And then the final week, there's only 3 teams left. And that's it. 3 teams left. Now, it looks like my guy got snagged. Looks like you guys are snagging all my players. Damn it. Let's go with Laporta here. Not a player I wanted to necessarily draft, but I was running out of time. Looks like Mahomie got sniped. Where did Debo go? Well, Debo got taken at an appropriate spot. And you know what? Honestly, Mahomes, he does fall to 8 sometimes, but let's go ahead and grab... Let's grab Egbuka a little early, because I don't think I'll get him on the way back, and that makes this plan of attack. First of all, I've got no quarterback, which is a little bit unusual for me. But with this build and eliminator, I'm really feeling good about this situation. Not to mention, like, what quarterback may or may not fall to me at the next pick. I've got guys like Dak. I've got guys like... We'll see. We'll talk about him in a minute. I don't want to get sniped. But having Achane, Bucky, and RJ Harvey... Having MHJ, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Egbuka, I feel very, very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Am I taking Egbuka and Judkins over Travis Hunter? Let me just say this. Just tell you right now, Judkins doesn't move the needle at all for me. So Travis Hunter over Egbuka. But I love Egbuka, but Travis Hunter. Throwing in Judkins is like giving me a nickel. You know, hey, if you do this trade, I'll give you a nickel, Smitty. I'll give you 25 cents. I really don't care. All right. Where was I at? I was looking at this team over here, wasn't I? So the 3 spot, Saquon, Ladd, JD5, Cortland Sutton, George Pickens, Brian Robinson Jr., Diggs. Not that I don't like some of the players there. It just doesn't really jive with the way I would draft. Gibbs, Chase Brown, James Cook, Ted McMillan, DJ Moore. I hate those 3 picks there. I love the Debo pick. All right, quarterbacks are kind of flying off the board now. And you know, Dak going doesn't make me feel great, but I have a couple tricks up my sleeve. Baker's still there. I've got Egbuka. There goes Judkins. What a waste of a pick, in my opinion. I mean, you want to take him at the end. I understand, but I'm not doing it. This team here from the 5 spot, Christian McCaffrey 5 is insane. 6, JJ, Josh Jacobs. Oh, who just got drafted? Hawkinson. Okay. JJ Jacobs. Oh, Baker just went. Drake May just went. And I don't think this Hurts team, the Mahomes team, they could take a QB, but I think since they recently drafted a QB, this team could take a QB. But since they've so recently drafted a QB, it's hard to draft another QB when you're still trying to fill those other positions. And it's not as tempting, but we'll see. Some people have this guy has 2 QBs. I highly doubt he's going another QB right here. We should get our boy here. This is a fantastic team. This is a fantastic squad. Even if I don't get my boy right here, and we do, Bo Nix, who I think is a top 5 QB, this team is remarkable. Bucky, MHJ, Rashee Rice, RJ Harvey. I was trying to get Mahomes stack going. RJ Harvey, Travis Hunter, Laporta, Egbuka, Bo Nix, fantastic. And you know what I'm probably going to do here, right, guys? I mean, this is a pretty easy call for me. I've already got Laporta And that's, fine by me, but looking and staring at Evan Ingram in the face when I'm pairing him with Bo Nix seems like a match made in heaven to me. Let's go Evan Ingram. Laporta, Evan Ingram. That helps us in let me just check their bye weeks, actually. Yeah, 8 and 12. That helps us in eliminator anyway. And I think having that edge at tight end, that flexibility at tight end in the early weeks, going to help separate the boys from the men in those 1v1 contests. This squad's fire. This squad is straight fire. Let me scroll down and show you the whole team. So Achane, Bucky, MHJ, Rashee Rice, RJ Harvey. This is an eliminator. Travis Hunter, Sam Laporta, Igbuka, Bo Nix, and Evan Ingram. Jeez. It's a squad. Okay. And as for the eliminator part, 12 week, by week 12, Bo Nix, I have no other backup, so that's, right now I got to figure that out. Achane by week 12, Bucky 9, RJ Harvey 12. So by week 12, I lose Harvey and Achane, but I still have Bucky. Receivers, Marv in by week 8, Rashee Rice 10, Hunter 8, Igbuka 9. So it's pretty good. I have Hunter and Marv out in week 8, but I still have Rice and Buka. And then Laporta and Ingram have different bye weeks. So I'm sitting real pretty in terms of the buys. Let me swing back over here and scroll down slightly so you guys can see what's up and what's coming. And then I'll pop this out over here real quick so you guys can take a look at it. Mark Andrews, Keon Coleman, Trey Harris is really nice here. Ray Davis. I kind of need RB a little more than I need wide receiver, in my opinion. Although I could go Keon. If Keon fell, I'd be very tempted. If Harris falls, I'll be very tempted to take Keon or Harris and then go running back. But Ray Davis is nice right here. If I didn't need if I needed a tight end, Tucker Kraft would be good. I could give two craps about Rachaad White. Rachaad White I won't even target Rachaad White. Trey Harris just went. Healing with another question here. It says BBM, Rice or Worthy, Ward or Penix, and Ray Davis or Benson. Probably say Benson over. Well, no, Benson for the upside. Ray Davis if you want more. Well, they're pretty close, bro. Benson for the upside. They're pretty damn close though. Ward or Penix Jr. Give me Penix Jr. And he's just going to be electric. And then give me. Did Penix already go? I don't think so. I might have to consider drafting him next. Rice or Worthy. I mean, per start, Rice, but the absence of, potentially 2 or 3 weeks might make it a tie, but I'd still rather have Rice in some ways, but I don't know that I want to pay that, so it'd be a very, complicated question that I'd have to really, break down and analyze and try and figure out, piece it all together. It's not as simple as that. So let's go Penix Jr. here. Get that quarterback week 12 by week 12 and Bo Nix by week 5 and Penix Jr. Getting your quarterback, your secondary quarterback lined up with that bye week, getting knocked out of the bye week. You can't afford to get hit in the bye week because then you lose and you're out. So needed to take Penix Jr. here. I had to. Love it too. Great pick. Now I'm juggling Keon Coleman or going to RB here. My next pick is going to be too late to grab this guy, so I'm reaching. I don't care. I don't care. Jaden Blue is my boy. He's my boy. So Jaden Blue is my RB4. I'm feeling really, really good about my RBs. Also, keep in mind that I have a bye week of... What was it? Let me go to my team real quick. I got a bye week of 10 in Blue, 12 in Harvey, 9 in Bucky, 12 in Achane. So that fits perfectly. So the bye weeks are fantastic. Dial into the show. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Healing, for the Super chat, my man. And Sam with another one. Is Law Dog Milk going to make an appearance? It might make a resurgence, bro. It very well could. Devin says Jaden Blue is lazy. I'm not sure if I'd pick that. Oh, is he? Devin, is he lazy? Devin, did someone say that? Damn it. Didn't know that Jaden Blue is lazy. Oh my God. He is, Devin? No. Can't believe I didn't do my research. Devin, let me show you something. Let me show you something, Devin.
The Moon Men dropping loads in.
He's on a shut.
There he is.
The Moon Men dropping loads in outer space.
He's on the Moon Man, Devin.
Space Monsters.
He's on the Moon Man, Devin. But
from the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
according to this report, Jaden Blue is lazy. Devin, I don't blame you for, you heard it somewhere. I get it, but bro, you literally just, you heard, Devin, you just heard it, and you just repeated what you heard. That's what you just did. Someone very uneducated on the topic told you he's lazy, and you came in and repeated it verbatim as if it was your own construct. You know, you're like, he's lazy. I wouldn't take him. Devin, we've shot that down, Devin. We've shot that down. That's a pretty reckless QB, man, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? We got all three tight ends. We don't need another one. They're all different bye weeks, too. This is a huge advantage, though. Tight end 8, 12, and 7. Laporta, Ingram, and Likely. All monsters. Two of my favorite breakout top 5 guys, and Laporta's got top 5 talent. I better hurry up and cue somebody here. Let's see. Let's go with the RB wide receiver. I love Dylan Sampson here, but I would like to grab an appropriate wide receiver. I think Pat Bryant has breakout potential. We've got Bo Nix anyway. So Nix and Bryant. Now our wide receivers are 8, 10, 8, 9, 12. Perfect. God, the bye weeks are just beautiful. Appreciate you, Devin. Don't get mad at me. He's lazy, though. It's okay, Devin. I think Rockout's comment makes a lot of sense to describe Jaden Blue, is that he's so fast, he looks lazy. He looks like he's standing still, but he's really just taking like 3 laps. Vader wants to know, is it true that if I had 6 period with him, he didn't like, oh, you had 6 period with him, he didn't like doing his homework. I heard he skipped class once in a while in high school. I heard Jaden Blue walked from the locker room to the sideline once. I'm just saying. Devin says, I saw Jaden Blue sitting on his couch eating potato chips. Devin in with the self-deprecation. I love it, Devin. Devin to the moon. Devin, we're going to send Devin to Mars.
To Mars!
You know, some people don't have thick skin, not Devin. Devin's skin is so thick, it made him have a lazy take for a moment because his skin was so heavy. His skin is so thick, it got so heavy, he was so lazy. He decided not to go research whether Blue was lazy himself, so he just repeated it. It's okay. Heavy skin is a tough thing. Heavy is the skin that wears the pads. What are we doing here? So we got 4 picks left. Very good squad. Love my team. Team's fire. Harvey Blue. We're looking good at RB. You know who I like here? I like Burchard. I like Keaton Mitchell a lot. I like at wide receiver. I'm going to do something that I've been doing a lot lately, and there's risk to it, but I think Keenan Allen's finding a home, and I think Keenan Allen's going to be just fine. I think he's going to be a really decent best ball player. Pretty good best ball player. D-Boy is too fat also. I saw that on another channel. I bet you did. And then we'll draft probably our last receiver here. I think. And Thornton's a fantastic player. So our bye weeks are 8, 10, 8, 9, 12. Unknown in Keenan Allen. And then 8. But even in bye week 8, we've got 12, 9, and 8. Or 12, 9, and 10. So we're covered. And then Keenan Allen. So probably pretty good. Running backs, I've got 2 picks left. I definitely want to go a quarterback and I want to go a running back. And I've got a 12, 9, 12, 10 in RB. So I just want to make sure I'm not picking a 12. I don't care if I double up on 9 or 10 again, but I don't want another 12 if possible. So no bye week 12 running back. And a quarterback doesn't matter what bye week. What we'll probably do after this, guys, is jump into the badge brawl. I know a couple of you mentioned you wanted to do that. Because those go so quick, we might be able to, we'll at least do one, but we'll maybe be able to do 2 of them. All right, phone line's open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Bruce, I didn't mean to hang up on you, bro. How do you tell their bye weeks? When you're drafting, see the buys right here. It says Hopkins. But when you pick on your team, you can see them as well. Most likely to happen is that Jonathan Taylor finishes running back 1. This is Mark. It's a cute story, Mark. The cute fable. Running back 1. RB. I like Keaton Mitchell. I think Keaton Mitchell is a good pick. Do we want Burchard or Keaton? Keaton Mitchell, Burchard Smith. Make the call. We've got Achan, Bucky, Harvey, and Blue. Achan, Bucky, Harvey, Blue. The bye weeks are fine, so just pick which one you like better. They're both potential league winners, man. I love Burchard Smith. You have rankings you can view? Yeah, Michael, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Guys, what are we picking here? Mitchell. We got a bunch of Mitchells. Okay. Do Mitchell. And then I'm going to go quarterback here. You guys know the deal. You know the guy. The guy. Then you know the deal. The guy. I'm picking the guy. Milrose season, baby. Yeah, Mark, we'll see it. We'll see here at the end of the year. Cody with the $2 hauler says, is Ridley a sleeper with Cam or Wash? Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans a little bit this year, but I'm a little bit worried. So this comes down to who's there. But no, Ridley's not Wash. Evans could have one more 1,000-yard, 5, 6, 7 touchdown season. It could be like a 10, 10, and 7, you know. But I don't know. I like Ridley a lot. It just depends on where he's going. You know what I mean? I'm very okay with taking him. I'm not shying away, especially if in best ball I can cuff the 2. But if we look for Ridley on this board, where did he go? Let me scroll up. Let's take a look at the Ridmeister and see. He went 55 right there in the 5th round. It's so high though, you know. So if we trail the 55 overall pick rightward, we just got to ask ourselves, like, you taking Harvey over Burrow or you taking Ridley over Burrow or Harvey or Hunter or Kenneth Walker or Trey Henderson? Because those are all guys, even Debo. I'm taking Debo over him. So I tend to not draft Harvey. It's not that I don't like him. I'm not calling him a bust up by any means, but that's why it doesn't happen, bro. You know? All right, so let's jump into, everybody use this link right here, underdog promo code Smitty. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Hit this link, dial in if you want. You want to call in and whoever that was, Mike or whatever his name was, you want to argue, if you want to argue, you know, your stance on JT, Milrow won't even play a snap this year. Oh, damn, why didn't you tell me, bro? Where were you, Nick? Where were you to fantasy explain me, bro? You could have saved me. You could have saved me the embarrassment. Go into a badge brawl. Scroll over to, don't click it yet. I'm trying to find it. Badge Bros Brawl. And then we're going to, it's a 6-person draft. But everything else is like the same. You draft the same number of guys. You have the same kind of playoff structure. You're playing weeks, 1 through 14. And then, you're playing in weeks 15, 16, 17 in the playoffs. The only difference is they're knocking it down to 6 people in each draft. So your teams are more fire. All right. On the count of 3, it's a $10 entry. Click on it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump into the Badge Bros Brawl. It will fill quickly. There's only 6 people in each draft. Do not get upset if you don't get in. You'll be in an overflow draft. It's okay. And we'll see who ended up getting in. Let me see if I can. Draft starts in 48 seconds. Let me put this up on the screen there. Here you go. These teams are going to be loaded. It's such a fun way to draft. Your boys got the... What's nice is I can... And then put this stuff over on the side. So here's the best available. Actually, I'll put myself back over there. I'm drafting from the 2 spot, which I love because I can smash that Bijan value all day long. Draft starts in 16 seconds. Phone line's open for those JT and Milrow takes. JJ. Oh, man. You know what I've been saying, though. Bijan. But, in this format, I've never drafted Chase in this format, so let's try it. Because I wonder the RBs, will they be more plentiful? I don't really know if I'm going to regret not taking Bijan or if this will be a blessing in disguise because of the RBs falling, like Genty or whatever. Doing it live. Code Smitty if anybody wants to jump in. me restart the phone line because I don't know if it's working. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. Genty's there. Love that. Love that value. There he is. Boom. Gone. Gone like that. Gone like the wind. Neighbors. Let's stick with the highest possible players within the realm of our liking them. You know, I'm not just taking ADP and computer drafting, but let's think about this logically and try and take as many of the players and maximize the ADP as much as we can. BTJ, Bucky, I want to go BTJ here and keep doing what I'm saying, but we have to grab one of the backs. So I'm going to go Bucky here, but we're going to try as we go. We'll divert if we need to, but we'll try and get his. I mean, here it is. I got a first rounder and a 12-man and a first rounder and a 12-man. I got a second rounder and a 12-man, so I'm not reaching out of pocket or anything. Whereas you could say, for example, the team like Puka's dropping to that 12-13. Team 4's got a first rounder, a mid first rounder, and they've got a guy they're drafting like 2.2. You know. Best player available to me right here. I love McBride. I love Chase Brown. I mean, I even like Josh Allen and the boys here, but maybe we keep kicking that can down the road just a little bit. Garrett Wilson would be nice. I think McBride's the smart play if he's there. Well, all right. I mean, there's zero chance what I say, you know, I want is going to happen if I wear my projection on my sleeve. Let's go with good old Chase Brown. Over under CMC starts 5.5 games. That's like right at the number, bro. Jaime. That's right there. I would say over, but I don't know that he's effective. You know, like he comes back and gets injured again, or like what's starting 5 games mean anyway? Okay. Josh Allen. Let's go Josh Allen. I'm gonna take the value here. Dynasty Waddle likely for Higgins, Loveland, and I have Burrow. Dynasty Waddle likely for Higgins. Waddle likely for Higgins, Loveland, I have Burrow. You can't. I don't like Waddle at all, bro. I love likely, but Loveland's got near the upside of no, bro. Waddle can kick rocks. I want nothing to do with that trade. Or yeah, you're getting Higgins and I'm sorry, if you're getting Higgins and Loveland, I want that trade. Sorry. Yeah, Higgins and Loveland by a country mile. You know what I was saying, Daniel. I mean, I mapped out what side I like better. I just said it backwards. Smash it, bro. Chase Brown, Jaden Blue, Blue Moon, Blue Moon, man. Blue Moon season. So excited for the Blue Moon season that is upon us. Let's go with Hampton season. Hampton. Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Bucky, Chase Brown, Josh Allen, Hampton. Do it live. Yeah, Higgins, Loveland side by a country mile. I want nothing to do with Waddle, man. Nothing. You know, him and... hold on. I'm going to go Rice. Loveland... Or I'm sorry, Waddle... Michael Pittman Jr. Who's the other guy? Deontay Johnson? Was that who was? It's the same song and dance, man. Over and over and over. Smashing 80p. I know it's late. A lot of you aren't dialing in, but I don't know if my phone line's working. Joe Burrow was still there. That was nice. I don't think you guys can hear me whistling, can you? Because I have a limiter on and it won't allow high-pitched sounds. So like I'm whistling right now. You can't hear it, can you? Let me turn on the other mic on. Ready? Up right now. Did you just take Mahomes, bro? No, you didn't. Okay. I better grab Mahomes. Travis, you're live. You know, I realized the other night, Travis, that I was whistling and no one could hear it because I remember I for some reason I was watching something back and then that part came on where I was whistling last night. I was whistling the X-Files because of Wes, or the other night. And I'm sitting here going like this. And I'm like, what the hell? And I forgot that my limiter won't let some of that happen. Like even when I hit this mallet. Chat, tell me if you can hear this. Travis, you there? Hold on. I think my speaker went off. Travis, you there? I think Travis. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anybody can hear that. Travis can hear it on the phone line, but I don't think any of you can. Nor can you hear me whistling. So there's certain things I forget that my limiter on my mic, because you know I scream and yell a lot, and I got a lot of complaints for years. Like, can you do something about your screaming and yelling? And so when I this is me going, what are you talking about? Like to Travis, that probably maybe the limiter actually extends to the phone line. Travis, can you hear the mallet? Travis? Travis? What the hell, man? Are you muted, Travis? Hello? Let's see here. I'm on the clock. DK Metcalf. Travis, you there? Damn it, I don't know what happened to the phone line. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, Travis. Something should be good. Let's play Denny. Travis, you muted, bro? Let me try turning the speaker on and off. Hold on. Wonder if he can hear me. Travis? Hello?
Hello?
There you are. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Could you hear the mallet?
No, I couldn't hear the mallet.
Okay, so the limiter works for you as well. What about this? Can you hear this? Ready? I'm going to start whistling the X-Files. Can you hear that?
No, I hear nothing.
What about that? You got to hear that.
No, nothing.
Well, okay, so the chat can hear it because I turned on the mic, but it only turns on for the stream. Travis only has the mic access to the limiter, so the chat could hear it. But that was funny. Oh, boy. Man, this team is straight fire. I'm sorry I'm not showing you guys the team. Hold on a second. I got to be careful because the teams are so deep that you forget that you're coming close to the end of the draft because you're drafting these big name players, and all of a sudden it's like, team full, and you're like, oh shit. But my team so far is this squad right here. Let me review it real quickly. I'm on the clock here. I'll go Pacheco. Okay, here's my team. I'm the 2 spot. Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Josh Allen, Marion Hampton, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Patrick Mahomes, RJ Harvey, DK Metcalf, Debo, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, it's easy to be like, great job, Smitty. We're all stacked teams. But I do believe my team might be the most stacked. And I wouldn't say I've always done, like I did a draft the other night doing this, and I did not like the way it went. I think it was on the live stream last night even. I did not like the way my team went. This team was really solid. The other teams look good. Everybody's team looks good. What's going on, Travis? You're live.
Not much. I just figured I'd call and see if this phone was working since we didn't know.
Yeah. Apparently it was having some issues for sure. Even when you called, I couldn't hear you, and I had to reset it. So, like, there's obviously problems. If I restart my computer, everything will be right. All right, I'm on the clock here. What? No, go ahead. It's fine.
Go ahead. I was going to say, do you think Jarquez gets that backup job right away, or you think they're going to ease him in? I know they love him. Like, just people want that draft during the draft, how pumped they were to get him.
Yeah, I think it probably takes him a little more time than people think. There's a lot to learn, and there's pass protection, and Matt Stafford staying healthy is like a critical thing. So I don't know that it's gonna feel like, oh yeah, because they loved him so much, it's gonna happen. He's gonna be shoved right in there. I don't know, man. It's a tough thing to bet on.
What do you do then, dynasty and or draft? Are you trying to cuff both of them to
no
now just because it's such a valuable spot, or one of them?
I think you just got to plan for Kyren will be healthy for a while, and by the time you need a backup, hopefully you never do, you just have Jarquez Hunter taking over. But like, let's say Kyren gets pulls up with a hammy in the preseason, and all of a sudden they got to roll with somebody, like you're going to wish you had probably Blake Corum. I don't even know. I mean, Hunter could take the job, but I'm just saying it's very possible that we're looking at that kind of situation. So you just got to kind of bank on, like, what are you looking at? What are you projecting? I project that, that Kyren will be fine for a while, if not all year. And people sweated over it so much last year, and it was meaningless. So I urge people to not lose sleep over it. Kyren, you're drafting Kyren, you're drafting him to win a league. Don't get your panties too much in a bunch about it at the end of the day. Let's go with the Buka here. Team's looking pretty solid. I've got 2 more picks here. I'm going to go with Isaiah Likely, and then I have 1 more pick for a tight end. So I waited to draft tight end until right there. I was going to try and get Ingram, I was going to try and get Kelsey, but I got sniped on those guys. I waited too long. It wasn't like you guys took them out of turn or anything. And then, but Likely I'm fine with my tight end. But yeah, good question, Travis. I mean, everyone's going to be faced with that. I mean, at the end of the day in Dynasty, my only recommendation is to have all 3. You kind of have no excuse not to have all 3 because of taxi squads and how big Dynasty rosters are. All of my Kyren teams, I have all 3, I believe. There might be 1 team I don't, but I have all 3, and it makes me sleep like a baby.
Gunza, he's another one. No, because the talent's there.
Yep.
How good is Caleb going to be? How many guys can he? And then what is Ben Johnson going to want to do? You know, I mean, that's because hanged up, but whenever they're not from that like coaching staff, draft them. Outfield.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we'll jump into one more of these. So just back out. You should be able to see the Badge Bros badge or the banner still there. Click it in 5 seconds. We'll click it together. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. 4 more to start. That means 4 more of you. 2 more to start. 1 more to start. Drafting. Everybody else will be in overflow mode, but don't let that make you mad or anything. Just have fun. Dominate the draft you're in.
You get
3. Which is cool. I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't care in this particular format, but I do find that I've drafted a better team at 1 or 2 than I have anywhere else. Just because you get that Bijan or Jamar Chase or...
Right.
I mean, even... I don't know if I'm going to go JJ or Gibbs. Go back here. Now, based on what you saw in the last draft, I don't even know if you remember. Was it smarter? Would it be smarter? I haven't really pegged it yet. Is it smarter to go wide receiver if all things are equal, or running back? Just the way that I just feel like it's such chaos and there's so many big names. You just don't know what you're gonna end up facing. The way you guys get ripped off. I want to go Gibbs, but just because I like BTJ, Nico, or I'm sorry, Neighbors, BTJ, Neighbors, London. I like those guys so close to Lamb, even though I think Lamb could arguably be the number 1, but that I'm more worried about not getting Gibbs or Bijan, honestly. Josh Allen going 4. Jeez, who is that? I don't recognize that person. I don't think that's one of our...
No, it is Daniel.
Oh, is it? Okay. Daniel, it's okay if you're grabbing that. I don't hate it.
Mine lagged. I didn't.
Okay. I mean, you can still be fine from that. You might trigger some sort of QB run too. You never know. But I don't mind. I don't hate that. I just think that you're probably better off waiting but then again, it's like right now you're getting you're going to get a couple players that in the next 3 rounds you wouldn't have been able to. You'd have to gone a quarterback, I guess, but it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
I thought one of ours is either last night or the night before someone won and Christian McCaffrey won to place.
I don't know. I think people they just love CMC, man. People, I mean, his ADP 7 or 8, so it fits the bill here. I mean, the ADPs are kind of the same, except for that Josh Allen pick.
If they're not afraid of CMC, then they're definitely not afraid of Saquon.
I mean, think about it. Like Puka goes 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Nico's going 11. I mean, it's all going to probably be very similar. It's just we're wrapping the rounds. Genty, that's great. I want to go Genty there. Gibbs, Malik Neighbors, Genty. Okay. Has anybody seen Mayor of Kingston? Is that Kingstown or what is it? Mayor of?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
You said it before.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
I think I'm gonna start that tonight.
Jeremy Renner's really good.
I think I watched episode 1 and it is slow a little bit, and I think I'm gonna marathon that bad boy tonight.
You watched Waterfront?
Yeah, Waterfront was great. Loved it.
That was really good.
Is Mayor of Kingston or Kingstown?
Kingstown.
Is Mayor of Kingstown better than Waterfront?
It's been a while since I watched it. Water's definitely like faster pitch.
Anybody in the chat have a weigh in on that one?
In a while, so I just watched it.
I'm going to reach a little bit on this one because you guys aren't going to let him fall. But I want Kyren here. I believe Kyren's as good as every player on the board here. I love Chase Brown, but I took him last time, so I'm going to go Kyren here. Does anybody... Look, Waterfront was great. Does anybody like Mayor of Kingstown better than Waterfront? I'm just curious if it's that good. If it's
Definitely, like, it's probably like a deeper storyline and stuff like that, like more developed characters.
But it's good? It's good enough to hang?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
That's one I haven't seen that everybody's saying to watch, and I usually watch everything, but I haven't got into that. Kingstown is better? Okay. It says right side. Waterfront is good, but Kingstown is better. Okay. That's good news. And going, I think Rice is a lot less risk here because of the fact that every team is so stacked that you won't need to worry about Rice sitting 2 weeks. New Age Outlaw dropping gifted wattage. I don't know how many that was. How many was that? 20 gifted memberships. What are you doing, bro? Straight fire. Midnight christening. Just smashing the chat with some gifted memberships. Midnight style. Thank you. Everybody put a cowboy emoji. For those of you that just got a gifted membership, you now have access to the emoji, so to dial it up. Let's see here, JSN. I'll go JSN. So I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Neighbors, Rashee Rice, JSN. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, Genty, Kyren, McBride. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love that. I love that running back room. That's great.
I mean, everybody's right. Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, you know what? I mean, looking at, I love Team 6 as Bucky and Achan.
Yeah,
and Paul. I don't love Jacobs myself as much as everybody, but it's still good value there. But yeah, I mean, Genty, Gibbs, Kyren. I mean, some have maybe better wide receiver rooms. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's Team 6, CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson's crazy. New Age, appreciate you dropping the wattage, my boy. 20 gifted memberships, I believe, is probably around $50.
What's the Team 5? He's going with all the old dogs.
Who? Team 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. AJ Brown.
Henry.
Tyreek. Nostalgic. James Cook is, outlaw to the moon. Someone hit my truck when I was sleeping. Someone hit your truck while you're sleeping? We've had that happen before outside when I was growing up. We had 2 cars get totaled that were parked in the driveway. This is a weird territory. I'm gonna grab my TAD early because I don't think the ADPs, you can't really use it because there's so many receivers that I'm not saying I don't need a receiver, but there's so many receivers that were like, there was no, it's almost like you can see it right here. It's all wide receiver. Ted McMillan, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith, Cortland Sutton, Pickens. I like Chuba, but Jalen Waddle, Isaiah Flowers. As much as I want to grab one of those guys, Burrow's more valuable to my team. Neighbors, Genty, McBride, Kyren, Rice, JSN, Burrow on the clock. And I like Trey Henderson here. Damn it, I need a receiver though. I'll go DK. Shouldn't have said that though. Because who I mentioned's not even in view. He's like 15 players down, but bye-bye. Someone hit my truck. Yeah, someone hit my cars when I was younger. When I barely was able to drive, my car got just. I remember I walked out and the car was this compact little smash-up box in the corner of the yard. Is that what happened to you, New Age? Someone just hit it out front of your house? It's crazy. He's still there. What do you know? I don't know if I love my receivers, but I guess I keep forgetting I have neighbors. Neighbors, Rice, JSN, DK. Of course, I love those in the context of a 12-man league, but I mean in this format. Drunk guy. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, New Age. Oh, that wasn't New Age that said that. I'm going to hit my truck. Gonna time out, take George Pickens. I don't know. This was fun when I first did it. And I'm not saying I'm not enjoying myself now. But I feel like after you do a couple of these, you get kind of like tired of everyone smashing it. You know, the smaller the league, the more likely that a lucky person can win it. You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool when you think about it, I guess, because then anybody can win it. You feel like maybe someone that's new to best ball, this would be a great format. But yeah, you definitely feel like everyone's team's so good that the likelihood of winning it, it's hard to measure. It's hard to. I didn't really want to take Monty, but I was going to time out. And I'm like, I got Gibbs. Let's just do it. Don't love cuffing Monty to Gibbs in other scenarios, but whatever. Justin Fields. Team number 6 is sniping all the quarterbacks, so I had to grab Fields. Who is that? Who is team 6? Who are you sniper? T Steele. Well, you did wait on a quarterback, so you're just tripling down real quickly. I see. All right, I got Joe Burrow, baby. Travis, did you see the Kyren footage on my Instagram? And the one that I showed on here? Crazy, man. Did my line go out again? Travis, you there? Hold on. Travis, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear a word you were saying because my speaker went out. Did you say anything?
No, I'm good.
Did you watch that Kyren video?
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, I know it's just in shorts, but like he looks so quick. I love when people talk about him being lacking explosion. It's so stupid.
He's one of the few guys that you can kind of count on for double-digit touchdowns. I talk about it all the time. How few players at double-digit touchdowns.
Oh, hold on a second. I got something playing somewhere. Jeez. It's nothing worse than hearing yourself screaming at yourself. I'm gonna time out. No. Who did I time out on? Juwan Jennings. Why is it always gonna be like Caleb or Juwan Jennings or JJ McCarthy?
Yeah. Always those guys.
And I did it to myself. I distracted myself. I heard my own voice from a video from the Cam Ward video. I don't know why that played. Played out of nowhere, distracted me, and I timed out. I distracted myself. Sim Valley says he's 4 minutes behind. He just realized. Do it live. Okay, so I don't even. This one's I don't know. It's not even fun anymore. Everyone's team is just jacked.
Yeah, it kind of is too much.
like, what are you going to do? It's like when someone says, hey, I'm in an 8-man league. I'm listening to my team. I got JJ, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I've got Bijan Gibbs and Mahomes and Evan Ingram. And I've got, Kelsey and Isaiah Likely on the bench. And then I've got Henderson and Travis Hunter on the bench. And it's like, it's too good for me to even be excited for you, Like, that's what I kind of feel here. Is like, who's going to really... How we get excited about any of this? But my team, Gibbs, Neighbors, Genty, McBride, Kyren. I'm on the clock again. How many tight ends? I guess I'm just going to take Likely because I'm going to time out. Gibbs, Neighbors, Genty, McBride, Kyren, Rashee Rice, JSN, Joe Burrow, DK Metcalf. George Pickens, Monty Fields, Jennings. I timed out on Tyler Warren, Isaiah Likely. 2 more picks left. And I need a quarterback and probably a wide receiver. So let's go grab... whoops. No! I swiped out. Let's grab Cam Ward. And then I need a wide receiver. So... I've got one of my boys queued up already. Okay, I'm good. All right, Travis, what else you got on your mind before I let you roll?
I was just gonna. Can you hear me right now?
Yep.
Like 2 years ago, it was probably the most disappointing landing spot. Last year might have been Odunze. Who do you think this year is going to end up being like that?
What's up, J1?
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I'm listening to you.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Who do you think this year will be like the worst landing spot?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be running back, though. Just anybody?
Anybody, yeah. Like I think last year was Odunze, actually.
Yeah. That
was Charbonnet.
That was really bad. J1, good to see you, my boy. Never saw Waterfront, but Mayor is excellent. I'll watch it. Travis told me about it a while. Mobland's pretty good. I tried to get into that too, and I just couldn't get into that. Real quickly, Travis. Judy, 4 seconds. Judy, Keon Coleman, Trey Harris.
Keon Coleman.
All right. I'll watch Mobland again if I can get into it, but I'm definitely going to watch Mayor of Kingstown. I think I only gave it like 20 minutes anyway, so it's not really a fair representation, but I remember thinking, I'll come back to this. It was like, I don't even think I got that far. It just seemed really slow.
We've done that.
It seemed really slow. But I'll get into it. I'll check out Mobland too. As for your question, let me go to my rankings on where? The Fantasy Football Show. Someone asked earlier, where are my rankings? TheFantasyFootballShow.com. Year-round rankings, 24/7. Let's see here. If I go to my rookie rankings, thank you, Healing. I'll read your message in 1 second, my boy. Kyle Luther Bird might be one of them, just because I really thought he could have been the second or third. Like, I like Ibuka more, but he could have. I would have Burden way ahead of Ted McMillan if he landed in New England or Buffalo or Trey Harris is a great landing spot and a bad one at the same time. Jaden Higgins is a great landing spot and a bad one at the same time. Bad because how can they ever become elite? Tyler Warren's good and bad at the same time. It'll be hyper focus of the offense, but can't live in the red zone. So like that's tough. Hampton, Harvey, Henderson, Caleb, Judkins, like they were all in committees in a way. So it's like that kind of sucked. But it's also, the pathway is fine. But I think everybody felt like, damn it, like I want it to be 100% clear. I don't know if I feel anything crazy negative yet, I guess, but Tootin landed in a spot with 2 other RBs, but is still promising. I think maybe for me it's Shador. because I thought Shador was going to not have to jump through all these hoops. And so I'd say that's one of them. Milrow, because I wanted Milrow to go somewhere to start, but I love his situation quietly. So at the end of the day, I guess I would only say
Loveland, maybe 2
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, Loveland's was.
I mean,
I would say
it ends up being like
Burden. Luther Burden.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could. Yeah, so the Bears could end up because they have all three guys, Odunze, Loveland, and Burden. They kind of just take away from each other.
Yeah, Burden just felt like he could have been so good. He could have been the next. I mean, Amon-Ra is a perfect example, and he went to the coach that could make it happen. But with Odunze and DJ Moore sitting in front of him, and then I would probably say Samson was a disappointing landing spot, and then now it looks great again.
Yeah.
I would say Burden, but I don't know that we have. I think some of them have light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there is quite a few that, even though they're like blocked or behind the guy, it's definitely light corn.
Yeah. All right, super chat from Healing. Rank my team 1. Okay. Team 1. Bijan, Amon-Ra, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy. Hero RB. Wow. Hero RB in this format might work. I'll see. I'm going to scroll down and see who you got at RB. Receivers are fire, obviously. JD5, great rotation of everything. I think when you get to JMO, though, you almost don't need him. So we'll see if you should have went RB. RJ Harvey, Caleb. I mean, you know what? Yeah, I wish you would have maybe. Who would you have gotten, though? I mean, you could have went Harvey early and then got Hendy or Chuba. So you could have got RJ Harvey and Chuba, or Hendy and RJ Harvey instead of JMO, because you won't even really need them. I mean, you'll use them, I'm sure, but so RJ Harvey, Caleb. Well, then again, you got Bijan already. I keep forgetting you got Bijan, so maybe RJ Harvey and Bijan will be enough. But let me see what else you got. Yeah, it's a good team. Jordan Mason. Yeah. You kind of don't have enough. Well, I mean, your only running backs are Bijan, Harvey, Caleb, and Mason. It doesn't show your last pick, but that could be okay, but you could also be like starving for running back production at some point. I don't know, like bye weeks and injury or whatever. But I like your team a lot. I think you may be stacked wide receiver a little too heavy, because you didn't need. Well, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then what did you? Yeah, I mean, maybe I would have just. I think I just would have went instead of JMO. That's the only thing. Past that, I love the team. Good job. Really good squad. Everybody's got a chance in this one. I mean, look how stacked these teams are. Chase, Nico, Brock Bowers, JT, Josh Allen, Puka, BTJ, Lad McConkey. It's just not fun. Everyone's teams are just, you know, I would never play in like an 8-man league, and this is worse than that. So I don't know. It was a really fun, in theory, idea. When I first saw it, I was like, this is amazing. And I think everybody felt that way. But I think you can only do so many of these, and you're like, I'm done with it. I'm not saying I won't do any more, but Healing, thank you, my boy. Appreciate you. Travis, anything else?
No, I'm good. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later, bro.
Bye.
Ward or Penix, Ray Davis or Benson. I think I answered that one already, right? Yeah, thank you for that super chat. And then the final super chat by New Age Outlaw. Oh, he did drop a super. New Age, are you still here? I'm sure you are. $10 hauler. Appreciate you very much. On top of the gifted memberships, New Age to the moon. New Age said, can I get Travis Hunter cheat code video on my way out to raise my spirit? I think you're on this already, right? If you're not, I'm going to put you on it for all the gifted memberships you give. But yeah. Yeah, see?
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select start.
Warning, warning. Cheat code activated. Warning, warning. Cheat code activated. Cheat code activated.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Thank you, New Age, for the $10 hauler on top of it. Sorry about your car, bro. That's horrible. That's insane, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Appreciate you. Thank you for dropping the gifted memberships. Thank you for dropping the $10 hauler. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you to New Age, Healing, Daniel, Jaime, Cody. Cody, appreciate you. Sam, Healing. Cody, if you have another question real quick, call in before I end, and I'll help you. I appreciate you calling in earlier. J-Man, Sam, Mr. Zib, Rock Out, appreciate you. Healing, Scotty Dew, Ray G, and Gibbs Bijan Moon. Appreciate all of your supers. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm also live whenever big news breaks, and I'm additionally live most graveyard shifts at midnight Eastern. And then I do uploads as well. I don't know if I'll have one tomorrow morning, but I had the Cam Ward one today, the Superflex video. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. New Age to the moon. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, Travis, Vampy, Terry, Kenny Powers, DeBalt. I think I got them all. Appreciate all my mods. Appreciate everybody that called in. Appreciate all the super chatters. Appreciate New Age. Did I get any celebratory questions, celebratory message, membership questions? I don't think so. Gifted was New Age. Thank you, New Age. Appreciate you all. See you all tomorrow. Wait a minute. What's going on here? New Age Outlaw received a gifted membership. I'm a little confused. Did New Age Outlaw, J1 gifted 5 of them. J1, appreciate you. J1 to the mother freaking moon. But how does New Age Outlaw not have a gifted membership? J1 gifted 5 and New Age Outlaw received 1. That was wild. New Age to the moon. Somehow getting a gifted membership. And then Healing gifting 5 memberships on the way out the door as well. Oh, that's wild. New Age, did you really, and no judgment, you don't have to explain yourself, but did you really not have a membership? It's kind of like a scientist, you know, not having a beaker. It's my day. It's like a scientist not having a flask or a beaker. I just lost it yesterday. Okay. Oh, it's his day. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, J1. Thank you, Healing. J1, glad to see you back, bro. And New Age, appreciate you all. New Age, J1, and Healing handing out beakers. Handing out flux capacitors. That's right. It still announces when it renews, I'm pretty sure. So, see you all tomorrow. I'll be live well before 8 p.m. I'm going to watch Mayor of Kingstown. I'm going to binge that bad boy. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you.
Your Bijan card has been revoked. Get lammed. Your Bijan card has been revoked.